Just for a moment, imagine your dream destination on the edge of the sea. Maybe a pristine little fishing village on the New England coastline. You know the kind. A cozy harbor guarded by an antique lighthouse, loads of art galleries, even an opera house for the performing arts. Well, you're not dreaming, because that's exactly what you'll find right here on the little peninsula of Boothbay Harbor, Maine. And with a number of lively festivals, historic museums, and a championship golf course, there's plenty to do all year round. But something different is about to happen around here. 6 crazy Cajun girls who know how to have a good time are about to invade the Boothbay region on a girlfriend getaway. And these laid-back mid-coast Mainers do not know what's about to hit them. These ladies are going to discover that their Cajun accents are closer to the locals than they expected. This is the Boothbay Harbor region of coastal Maine. And as these ladies say, laissez le bon temps rouler, let the good times roll. And that's exactly what they're going to do while they're getting away together. Meet the Mini Six. That's what these girls call themselves when they're on one of their legendary getaways. Except for one native Kansan, Sharon, the rest are born and raised in Louisiana. Kathy and Sue are sisters, and so are Leanie and Gwen. And Marty is their sister-in-law and the baby of the group.
The reason we call ourselves a Mini Six is because we ride around in a minivan everywhere we go on vacation.
We go everywhere together. It's kind of majority rules, you know. If 4 people want to do something and the other 2 don't, you know, you just go along, you know.
We're 6 women from just different areas, different walks of life, different ages, different things going on in our life, but we all bond like a wheel. We all come together. Sharon's our planner. So she picked this area because she really wanted to come back.
They were so excited to be in Maine. Our seasons just don't change down in the south. It goes from green to brown, and so when we picked this place, we wanted to see the season change. The leaves turn to beautiful colors and cool weather. We are tired of the heat, so we wanted to go somewhere cool.
Well, we were just chit-chatting, of course. Like I said, I had 5 women giving me directions, telling me turn here, park there, go here, do this, you know. So we pulled up and everybody was just like, oh, this is beautiful. Just what you expect Maine to look like. And we all jumped out the car. First one to the house gets the best bed.
We did a little research online and we saw the house and we said, okay, this is going to be a great place to stay. And once we opened the doors, it was like, wow. This is kind of like stepping back in time, and it's going to be a fabulous time together.
When we walked into the kitchen, it was such a homey feeling. The kitchen is so quaint.
So we were screaming. We're in the kitchen, we see an old wood stove. Then we go into the living room, we see a fireplace. And straight through in the back of the living room is this awesome enclosed porch with wicker furniture.
Well, we could have just slept out there and just spent the whole time. That would have been where we've gone.
We all hurried up the stairs and we kind of looked around and scoped out the bedrooms to see who was going to sleep where. Oh, this room is so nice. I think this is the one I want. When I walked into the bedroom that I chose, I mean, it was just like, it was so nice and just so welcoming with the white comforter, and you just wanted to jump in the bed and sleep.
Look, Sue, look at this room. Oh, look at the birds. Isn't this great?
Can climb this one.
You gonna take that one?
That's fine.
I'll take this bed. Wow, look at this bed.
Ooh, we can get up early and look out and listen to the boats.
Very good vibe. I mean, the personal touches that the house has is just that welcoming touch. The feel that you just want to stay here and just never leave and just relax and enjoy yourself.
This home grabs you. You could feel the presence of others that have had good times here.
All right. Cheers! Cheers! Mini Six! Look at awesome out there. Awesome.
There's only one Boothbay region in the United States. A letter addressed to Boothbay, USA will not get lost. The Boothbay Harbor region is part of a peninsula that extends out into the Gulf of Maine in the Atlantic. It's a little over an hour's drive east from the Portland, Maine airport. The Boothbay region was first established by the British in 1623. Skirmishes with local Indians and disputes over land titles pretty much shut things down for years, until the territory governor, Colonel David Dunbar, laid out a new town in 1730 and settled it with Scotch-Irish immigrants. It was finally incorporated with the name Boothbay in 1764, and the peninsula became a well-known fishing center and a safe harbor for ships. In the late 1800s, with the rise of the middle class, Boothbay was discovered by affluent travelers catching steamers from Portland and Boston. Boothbay tourism was born. The Boothbay Peninsula has always been like an island unto itself, and as a result, has maintained the charm and traditions of an earlier and gentler time. Some of the town's original buildings are still here and open for business today.
We went to a little place called Jansen's, very unique little shop, nice gear.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing?
Good. How are you ladies today?
Hey, I'm looking for some fall weather gear. You have it?
The minute I walked in, I was looking for some fall weather stuff. I'm like, gosh, I have got to get this thing.
We thought she didn't need that. She doesn't have to buy one more thing to stick in her suitcase because she always packs too much clothes.
I think you need the authentic hats.
Suitcase for that.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, girlfriend. Wait a minute, girlfriend. I think that's you. That is you.
Before you know it, we walked out there with 6 bags.
No matter how many weather forecasts you watch ahead of time back home in the South, New England fall weather is always an inspiration to go shopping.
Oh, it was a wonderful little shopping town. I loved walking down the streets, being outside. I'm not a big mall shopper, but I love the little outside shops going in and out. And on a beautiful day like that, that was really enjoyable, just walking down the street and taking in the view and the beauty of the town and walking in and out of the stores. It was awesome.
We love to just go around quaint little towns and shop. I love to do that, to go down the street and just walk in any kind of shop, candy stores. I just love to do that kind of stuff.
On our shopping day there, as we entered Abacus, I saw a lot of these very unique items that attract me because I'm not just your normal everyday type shopper. I like great pieces of jewelry by some of the local artists here, which is something that I appreciate because I like one-of-a-kind pieces.
And the jewelry at Calypso, it's just so neat because it's local artists.
They had these beautiful necklaces out of stones from the coastal Maine, and they had made beautiful necklaces, rings, bracelets, and not only did she have darling stuff, but her shop was right on the harbor. Out her window was the most beautiful view of the sailboats and the docks. It was breathtaking.
It's hard to talk about Boothbay, Maine without talking about lobstering. In fact, with a little imagination, you can picture the whole Boothbay Peninsula looking like a big lobster itself. Captain Clive Farron has been lobstering on and off since he was 12 years old. Well, these days, after an early morning on the water, he opens his boat up to travelers who want to get a glimpse of what it's like to go hauling for lobster. In fact, he calls his service Go Lobstering.
Well, lobstering was one of the main things I wanted to come up here and do because in the South we have crawfish, mini lobsters, okay? And I just wanted the experience to see the difference in catching lobsters.
To watch them go through the process of picking up the traps. They broke it down, explained everything to you. It was amazing.
We learned a lot about lobstering. Captain Clive actually explained to us how they actually get to choose the lobsters and how they have to measure them and decide, if they're big enough to put in to save, or if they're male or female, and if they have eggs, and you have to throw them back in the water.
According to the biologist, that color is the color that they should be to be healthy eggs.
Captain Clive is the real deal. He's just like a bowl full of jelly.
There's one there that would be good eating.
He loves what he does, and he knows what he's talking about. Lobstering with the captain and his mate, Cage, was an experience in itself.
Now you know what Santa Claus does in the off-season. Right along the banks of the Sheepscot River is a little hidden gem that only the locals know about. It's one of the last remaining hand-cranked swing bridges in the state of Maine. You can watch it from the porch of the Trevitt County Store, another Boothbay antique.
That was amazing. That girl was actually out there stirring a pot to get this bridge to move for the boat traffic.
But inside, Kimberly Lewis, the owner, serves up arguably the best lobster roll in the free world. Of course, it depends on who you talk to. Mainers take their lobster rolls pretty seriously.
Lobster roll was just a steam-picked lobster put into a hot dog bun that was grilled before. You know, has a little bit of a mayonnaise base to it, you know, packed full with lobster. I had lobster roll for the very first time there.
She was so nice when she served us some of the best lobster rolls I have ever had.
Order 26, your order's ready.
Like we call them in the South, it's a little mom and pop shop. They're the best that they could potentially be.
Let's cheers. To our next trip to a wonderful location. Great day so far, huh?
I looked at the size of it and I said, man, I'll never indulge all of this, and by golly, I did.
It was the best lobster roll that I've had up here. It was fantastic.
Nobody's talking, so you know it's good.
Ever go hiking in a place where the hiking sticks were waiting for you? Well, they are here because it's a long-standing tradition at the Porter Preserve, which is part of the Boothbay Region Land Trust. Returning the sticks where you found them is part of the honor system, which is typical of how people around here feel about preserving the beauty of their land.
It was amazing to me with the limited supply of land up on the East Coast that's available. They can take so much land and just put aside for this preserve, you know. And it's just like it's like being a fairy tale. You just walk through there, and it's almost like the ground is like a sponge. And it's soft, and there's a lot of roots going through there, but it's very walkable, very doable.
So as we were hiking, there was a grove of Christmas trees that just really led us just through the forest. It was a wonderful experience just to smell the aroma of the evergreen. I mean, it was just beautiful.
When you get down to the point where the sun starts gleaming through the trees and out into the harbor where you can actually see it, and it was like such a breathtaking moment, unlike any other experience I have ever had.
We saw a lobster boat come by, and we had the peace and quiet of the lobster boat.
And you could hear the boat, the diesel engine, where they would cut back and lift a trap. And you really couldn't hear what they were talking about back and forth. And I guess they was probably wondering what all those people are doing up there on that cliff.
It was so overwhelming. We just had one of those aha moments, and we just had our group hug. We do our group hug frequently, though. We really do a group hug often.
For decades, Boothbay townfolk have been known for going down to the sea in ships, and hundreds of ships have been built here. Today, you can see many classic vessels being tenderly restored here at the Boothbay Harbor Shipyard. A real Boothbay seafaring love story can be told about Herb and Doris Smith, who sailed around the world twice with their 3 children. Together, they built by hand 6 ocean-going schooners, and this one, the 65-foot Eastwind, is now owned by their son Tom and his wife Jennifer.
Hi there. Welcome aboard.
And
Watch
they
your
provide
step, please.
Captain Bill and his first mate Sally to take you on a 2-hour voyage to parts of the Maine coastline that are only accessible by boat.
A bit of a misty day, and we're a little skeptical about going out there, you know, because we all like our hair in the same direction, and okay, we're going to get on this boat, we're going to have boat hair. and we're going to look bad. And I said, let's do it. You know, we can handle this.
Schooner is a sailboat that has 2 masts or more, and the forward mast is no taller than the aftermast. So if you look at our
To me, a
rig,
fishing boat is kind of like a man-type boat. This is more inviting to women, to me. So it was a great experience with the wind blowing in your hair, and I also got to lift the sails. So that was awesome, to hoist the sails, as they say.
Yarn, mateys, that was one well-hauled sail.
I have only been sailing once in my lifetime in high school on a little sunfish, nothing near what we were boarding today.
Now, can you see the Cuckold Island Lighthouse way down there in the distance?
Got to sail the boat,
Okay, so that's what we're steering for,
and
right?
just a once in a lifetime thing that I could never, ever forget.
Little turns, little patience. It's all yours.
Okay.
Oh, no. This could be a problem.
She did really good. She can be our captain next time we come back.
Heartily.
Heartily.
Now turn.
When her sails went up, you knew she was going to take care of you. And I know it's just a little trip that we took out there, but you felt like you could have gone to Bermuda with her.
As naturally beautiful as the Boothbay Harbor region is, one of its newest and most spectacular landscapes took years of loving human engineering to create. What resulted is the coastal Maine Botanical Gardens, a sprawling 250-acre collection of fragrant gardens, rock formations, waterfalls, and walking paths. It's the largest botanical garden in New England.
When you hear about a botanical garden, you don't expect it to be acres and acres of land. But that's my love. I love the dirt. I love the flowers, plants, and especially being from the South and coming to this area, the plantings are different. The plants are different.
I would love to come back in the spring and see it when all the flowers are just starting to bloom. It was late in the season, but there were so many things still to see. There was the children's garden. It was charming. It turned out the children's gardens all related to Maine authors from Maine who had written children's books.
And actually E.B. White, who's the author of Charlotte's Web, was a Maine children's author too.
They have an area at this particular garden they call the 5 senses, and you can walk through and touch and feel and the different smells and the textures.
Yeah, very common, and you just get there and you want to just hear and just chill out.
I especially love the seagrasses, but I also had a favorite garden, the bog garden. There were plants in this garden that I'd grow at home in pots that I never knew would grow in a bog.
We did get a little quiet watching all that. It was, we don't get quiet very often, and so that takes quite a bit to do to take our breath away and make us stop and enjoy stuff like that.
Towards the end of the day, as we were wrapping up, as we found out what was connected to that, unknown to us, was this little cafe terrace, and sitting there with 6 wine glasses and a cheese and cracker tray, and what a better way to end the day.
Cheers. Great day. Thank you. Great day.
Growing up, Liz Evans spent summers here in East Boothbay after traveling all over the world as a gourmet chef. Today, her East Boothbay General Store is a local gathering place, but Liz's custom-served clam bakes are becoming legendary on their own.
Liz comes over with her sister Allison and husband Chris, and they set up this huge clam bake for us. And we have lobsters coming in from Rusty and Eben, and we're meeting them on the docks, and they're bringing in this fresh lobster.
Is that it? I think we've got it. We got it. Okay.
So we tug these lobsters up, and they start putting their magic together.
It's something I've never seen. You go into a store, you buy a lobster, you stick it in a pot, you eat the lobster. This clam bake, they took you from beginning to end. We washed them down, we layered and layered and layered. It was seaweed,
That's it. Now I'm gonna
lobster.
be a lobsterman.
There you go, now just pull it.
Then you put more seaweed.
Yeah, no, that's perfect.
Organize, make it pretty.
Then we had corn.
Regular Maine potatoes, and onion from the area. And then again, we put that all together, layered with seaweed.
Then you put clams in a bag.
We want to take one of these and we want to put them right around. So 1, 2, 3, 4.
Covered it with more seaweed.
Or should we tuck?
Then they covered it with newspapers, which they had soaked with water.
What this does is it traps all of the steam in, and it'll actually help steam all the lobsters.
Wow.
So this is just a whole lot easier.
They had a hole which they had put eggs down in it, and that was to be the timer, which I found very interesting.
If the egg is hard boiled, everything underneath it is going to be cooked.
Wow.
If it's not, then you have to cook it a little bit longer. Yeah. So what we do is then we put this plug in the top to keep all the steam in, and then I like to just take a little piece and put it down there to really hold the steam in.
All right, we're in business. Ready. Wow.
From that point on, there's a party and the atmosphere totally changes.
It's on. The only thing left to do is dance. So we're gonna dance.
I wanna get together with all my friends at a cottage up in Maine. You know the fun will never end. No matter what the weather, we're getting away together. Together. Getting away together.
Okay, so about 45 minutes to an hour later after the play and bake, Chris goes in and he starts pulling out the newspaper and checking the eggs. So at that point they know it's ready.
It was something I had never done before, and I felt like I was taken back in time, you know, to some place, to something I have never done before. The tables were gorgeous. The whole table settings were just great, beautiful. The pottery and the plates we ate off was just, it was like a picture out of a book that you see of Maine at a clam bake.
Yes. Exquisite.
And having the opportunity to actually enjoy it with the local people here. No utensils, just little picking tools, you know, cracking them with cracked claws.
The presence and the gathering of cooking food just brings people together. And it brought the mini six with the local people together.
Life is short. You never know what hand you're dealt. You better do it now, because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. It was like a girls' getaway. It's a chance for all of us to come together and talk about grandkids and talk about family and just get away. And the people here are wonderful. We had a wonderful time. We're coming back next year.
Being together as women, not being a wife, not being a mother, just being a girlfriend, is what we need. It's our therapy, and it's what we love about being together, and I think Boothbay was the best place to do that.
We've had great times, and we've had lots of memories. But this one, we had a great time, and it felt like we didn't leave home. We just moved the state.
We're not sure who had more fun on this vacation, the girlfriends or the people they met all over the Boothbay Harbor region of Maine. So often people go on vacations and have a good time together, but leave the destination without a real sense of what the place is all about. Well, it seems our ladies have had a deep immersion in the Boothbay culture. Any concerns they might have had about being welcomed went away on the first day. And honestly, that's probably a tribute to these Cajun girls too. Their enthusiasm and selfless humor has simply captivated these Mainers. And when you think about it, that's the best thing you could ever hope for, when people are getting away together.